What is up, heroes? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today so far. Those of you guys who are new here, hello, I am Xena von Kex to say. You can just call me Xena. I am a variety streamer over on Twitch, but over here on YouTube, just an elder emo with a lot of opinions and a lot to say on a lot of different things, and I love doing reaction videos. And in case it wasn't obvious,
yes,
I just got my hair did. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not quite done yet, though. It's still not quite the shade that I'm going for. I mean, I went in to kind of go for like an ombre look, dark brown to platinum blonde, but this is not platinum blonde. So I'm gonna have to go a little bit lighter to get the shade that I'm looking for. The look that I'm going for is kind of a dark gray, like a gray dark silver is kind of what I'm going for. But you know what? We're not here to talk about my hair. We're here to react to stuff, right? And I'd put out a poll a little bit earlier this week to help me decide which George Carlin video I should react to, because George Carlin is awesome and you guys have made lots of recommendations. So I wanted to give you guys a chance to help me decide, and it looks like the winner is Religion is Bullshit. Now, before we get into it, a little backstory about me. I'm not a religious person anymore. I want to say for maybe the first 12 years of my life, I was Methodist, and then it transitioned into Baptist, and when I reached my college years, all the way up to now, it transitioned into non-denominational. Yeah, my faith is not based in any sort of religion. It's more based in just the Bible and the Word, if that makes any sense. But just because that's where my faith lies doesn't mean I'm open to the opinions of other people, particularly George Carlin. So, let's get to it.
But in the bullshit department, a businessman can't hold a candle to a clergyman. Because I gotta tell you the truth, folks. I gotta tell you the truth. When it comes to bullshit, big time, major league bullshit, you have to stand in awe of the all-time champion of false promises and exaggerated claims, religion. No contest. No contest. Religion easily has the greatest bullshit story ever told. Think about it. Religion has actually convinced people that there's an invisible man living in the sky who watches everything you do every minute of every day. And the invisible man has a special list of 10 things he does not want you to do. And if you do any of these 10 things, he has a special place full of fire and smoke and burning and torture and anguish, where he will send you to live and suffer and burn and choke and scream and cry forever and ever till the end of time. But he loves you. He loves you. He loves you, and he needs money. He always needs money. He's all powerful, all perfect, all knowing, and all wise. Somehow, just can't handle money. Religion takes in billions of dollars. They pay no taxes, and they always need a little more. Now, you talk about a good bullshit story. Holy shit.
Like, to an extent, I can kind of see where he's coming from, because religion, like, there are multiple practices of religion, like, all throughout the world, and they all think that they're right, and you know, because each religion thinks that they're right, they just clash with one another, and religion just has this way of, you know, next to politics, it's one of those things that I just don't get into that often. But in my opinion, I don't believe that God is just this bearded man in the sky who just watches everything that you do and is just waiting for you to screw up, basically, you know what I mean? The God that I was taught to worship and to fear is a God that just wants to guide you. I mean, and he's fully aware that you're going to make mistakes in life. Like, he's aware that as long as you're in this realm, you're gonna make mistakes. But it's God's everlasting mercy and grace that saves you from it. Like, in the Bible, it says that the only unforgivable sin is when you use a blasphemy against his name. But yes, I do agree with George in many ways. Religion can tear people apart.
But I want you to know something. This is sincere. I want you to know, when it comes to believing in God, I really tried. I really tried. I tried to believe that there is a God who created each of us in his own image and likeness, loves us very much, and keeps a close eye on things. I really tried to believe that, but I gotta tell you, the longer you live, the more you look around, the more you realize something is fucked up. Something is wrong here. War, disease, death, destruction, hunger, filth, poverty, torture, crime, corruption, and the ice-capades. Something is definitely wrong. This is not good work. If this is the best God can do, I am not impressed. Results like these do not belong on the resume of a supreme being. This is the kind of shit you'd expect from an office temp with a bad attitude. And just between you and me, in any decently run universe, this guy would have been out on his all-powerful ass a long time ago. And by the way, I say this guy because I firmly believe, looking at these results, that if there is a God, it has to be a man. No woman could or would ever fuck things up like this.
Wow. He really went there.
If there is a God, I think most reasonable people might agree that he's at least incompetent and maybe, just maybe, doesn't give a shit. Doesn't give a shit, which I admire in a person and which would explain a lot of these bad results. So rather than be just another mindless religious robot, mindlessly and aimlessly and blindly believing that all of this is in the hands of some spooky, incompetent father figure who doesn't give a shit, I decided to look around for something else to worship, something I could really count on. And immediately, I thought of the sun. Happened like that. Overnight, I became a sun worshiper. Well, not overnight, you can't see the sun at night. But first thing the next morning, I became a sun worshiper. Several reasons. First of all, I can see the sun, okay? Yeah. Unlike some other gods I could mention, I can actually see the sun. I'm big on that. If I can see something, I don't know, kind of helps the credibility along, you know? So every day I can see the sun as it gives me everything I need: heat, light, food, flowers in the park, reflections on the lake, an occasional skin cancer, but hey, at least there are no crucifixions, and we're not setting people on fire simply because they don't agree with us. Sun worship is fairly simple. There's no mystery, no miracles, no one asks for money, there are no songs to learn, and we don't have a special building where we all gather once a week to compare clothing. And the best thing about the sun, it never tells me I'm unworthy. Doesn't tell me I'm a bad person who needs to be saved. Hadn't said an unkind word. Treats me fine. So I worship the sun. But I don't pray to the sun. Know why? I wouldn't presume on our friendship. It's not polite. I've often thought people treat God rather rudely, don't you? Asking trillions and trillions of prayers every day, asking and pleading and begging for favors. Do this, give me that, I need a new car, I want a better job. And most of this praying takes place on Sunday, his day off. It's not nice, and it's no way to treat a friend. But people do pray, and they pray for a lot of different things. You know, your sister needs an operation on her crotch. Your brother was arrested for defecating in a mall. But most of all, you'd really like to fuck that hot little redhead down at the convenience store. You know, the one with the eye patch and the club foot, huh? Can you pray for that? I think you'd have to. And I say, fine, pray for anything you want. Pray for anything. But what about the divine plan? Remember that? The divine plan. Long time ago, God made a divine plan, gave it a lot of thought, decided it was a good plan, put it into practice. And for billions and billions of years, the divine plan has been doing just fine. Now you come along and pray for something. Well, suppose the thing you want isn't in God's divine plan. What do you want him to do? Change his plan? Just for you? Doesn't it seem a little arrogant? It's a divine plan. What's the use of being God if every rundown schmuck with a $2 prayer book can come along and fuck up your plan? And here's something else, another problem you might have. Suppose your prayers aren't answered. What do you say? Well, it's God's will. Thy will be done. Fine, but if it's God's will and he's going to do what he wants to anyway, why the fuck bother praying in the first place? Seems like a big waste of time to me. Couldn't you just skip the praying part and go right to his will? It's all very confusing. So to get around a lot of this, I decided to worship the sun. But, as I said, I don't pray to the sun. You know who I pray to? Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci. 2 reasons. First of all, I think he's a good actor, okay? To me, that counts. Second, he looks like a guy who can get things done. Joe Pesci doesn't fuck around. Doesn't fuck around. In fact, Joe Pesci came through on a couple of things that God was having trouble with. For years, I asked God to do something about my noisy neighbor with the barking dog. Joe Pesci straightened that cocksucker out with 1 visit. It's amazing what you can accomplish with a simple baseball bat. So I've been praying to Joe for about a year now. And I noticed something. I noticed that all the prayers I used to offer to God and all the prayers I now offer to Joe Pesci are being answered at about the same 50% rate. Half the time I get what I want, half the time I don't. Same as God, 50-50. Same as the 4-leaf clover and the horseshoe, the wishing well and the rabbit's foot. Same as the mojo man. Same as the voodoo lady who tells you your fortune by squeezing the goat's testicles. It's all the same, 50-50. So just pick your superstition, sit back, make a wish, and enjoy yourself. And for those of you who look to the Bible for moral lessons and literary qualities, I might suggest a couple of other stories for you. You might want to look at The 3 Little Pigs. That's a good one. Has a nice, happy ending. I'm sure you'll like that. Then there's Little Red Riding Hood, although it does have that X-rated part where the big bad wolf actually eats the grandmother, which I didn't care for, by the way. And finally, I've always drawn a great deal of moral comfort from Humpty Dumpty. The part I like the best, all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. That's because there is no Humpty Dumpty and there is no God. None, not one, no God, never was. In fact, I'm gonna put it this way. If there is a God, may he strike this audience dead. See, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Everybody's okay. All right? Tell you what. I'll raise the stakes a little bit. If there is a God, may he strike me dead. See, nothing happened. Oh, wait, got a little cramp in my leg. And my balls hurt. Plus, I'm blind. Oh, now I'm okay again. Must have been Joe Pesci, huh? God bless Joe Pesci. Thank you all very much. Joe bless you.
There is a lot to take on that, for sure. I do believe that there is a God. And I do pray. And I do believe in a divine plan. Now, I've been praying to God all my life. Some of my prayers have been answered and some of them haven't. Usually it's because he has something better in mind, or what I'm praying for is not what he wants for my life. And some of the decisions that I've made throughout life have not been the best decisions on my part. I've lasted this long, haven't I? Yeah, it's just one of those things that's not the easiest thing in the world to talk about, you know, because I have my own relationship with God, and it definitely could be better than it is now, but just one of those things, you know. I do completely agree with George on saying that religion is bullshit, because I think so too. As I said at the beginning, I'm not a religious person. My faith is not based in religion, it's based on the Bible and the Word. religion creates fear, God creates love. And you know, I'm sure some of you guys will agree with George more than you agree with me, and that's perfectly fine. Agree to disagree, right? I personally just believe that there is a God, and that he does have a plan, even if I don't know what that plan is. And from here, I just gotta keep moving forward. I gotta keep praying. But yeah, that's my feedback on George Carlin. Religion is bull. I hope you guys liked today's reaction video. If you liked what you saw, and if you have any more suggestions for me, just leave them down in the comments below. And if you liked what you saw here today, just be sure to hit like and subscribe, and hit the bell notification so the next time I release another video, you won't miss a thing. And don't forget to check me out on all my social media as well, and I will see you guys next time. As always, a boop for you, a boop for you, and a boop for you. Until next time, heroes. Now go say your prayers. Bye-bye.
Level 1.